Hi, everybody. It's Danielle Dietrich, and I am a lawyer who works with DBEs and ACDBEs on all matters involving their certification. Before we begin, please, would love for you to like and subscribe to my channel. Like the video down below and subscribe to my channel. Lets me know that there are people that do want me to continue making content. Today's topic is going to be 5 different documents that might be able to help support your personal narrative. Now, as most of you who are watching know, early in October, the U.S. Department of Transportation put out an interim final rule that is requiring all DBEs and ACDBEs to be recertified based largely in part on a personal narrative, as well as an updated personal net worth statement. Now, you can watch my other videos that I have done on personal narratives and what kind of content should be included. But today's is going to talk about 5 different kinds of documents that can support your personal narrative. Now, the guidance out there is slim, but one thing that we know will be helpful is including evidence in support of your personal narrative and the things you talk about in that personal narrative. Now, what constitutes evidence? I mean, we're going to be, it's going to be documents. It's not like you can send in a glove or something like that, going back to the OJ days. So the first category of document that you may want to consider including, if you have it, is some sort of denial of credit, bonding, or insurance for your business based on you as the owner. And this is something I'm hearing from a lot of my clients that it's a challenge they face, especially for small businesses, trying to work on some of these big projects that have really onerous bonding or insurance requirements, or that require the business to outlay a lot of cash to obtain certain supplies or materials. And then you're dealing with the delay of getting paid by the government, which is usually a pretty lengthy pay. You're usually paid when your prime is paid. So yeah, I mean, you need credit and it's really hard to get a sufficient amount of credit. And I'm hearing that from a lot of my clients. So to the extent that you have those documents, it would be very, very helpful for you to attach them. And if they have your social security number or anything like that, you can certainly redact that. If you don't have it, that's okay. You can recall the details in your personal narrative, but if you have it, it is fantastic evidence to include with that personal narrative. Number 2 is a letter or an affidavit from another person that is bolstering something that you stated in the personal narrative. And so this could be from anybody. It could be from a spouse, a coworker, a colleague. I've had folks do it from their insurance broker. Their insurance broker wrote a letter saying, yeah, when they started the company 5 years out, I could not get them insured. I could not get insurance for them. It was, really hard, or the terms, were very bad. The premiums were high for loans. It was a broker for loans. The interest rates were really high or really, needed a lot more collateral. So again, it can be from, a former colleague or boss and said, yeah, this person was harassed on the job site, frequently, or such and such event happened, anything like that, just something else to support your claim. Third category of documents that you might want to consider using to support your personal narrative or news articles, news articles about an event that happened, maybe you were featured in a news article, or maybe there was an article perhaps about the poor conditions of your school growing up, or the poor funding, or really anything, something about how your particular industry, small businesses struggle, anything like that. So news article, third category. Fourth category to support your claim potentially are court documents. Now, when I say court documents, I'm talking about things that are publicly filed with the court. What you do not want to attach is any kind of settlement agreement, because 9 times out of 10, those are confidential and you don't want to be in breach of any confidentiality issues. So if you say filed a complaint or were a party to some litigation, or maybe a prime that you work with was party to some litigation that somehow affected you, you can obtain some of those court documents, most of which are public record, and use those to bolster your personal narrative. And then the last thing for today's video that I'm going to mention is statistical data, market analyses, anything that kind of prove some of the points that you are making. So, some sort of statistical data showing that your high school had a very large percentage of families that were below the federal poverty guidelines, for instance, and that your school wasn't well funded, or it can be something about your industry or anything like that. Some folks have been citing those, which is great, but if you can print it out and attach it, that's even better because the whole goal here is to make it as easy as possible for the certifiers to say yes whenever they are looking at your personal narrative. So, to the extent you can put it all together, wrap it all up with a pretty bow, the better off you are and the happier the certifying agencies will be. So, those are my tips for today. Thank you for watching. Again, would love if you would like and subscribe. If you are a DBE owner and you are in need of help with putting together your personal narrative, please reach out to me. I am working with clients on a flat fee basis, and I'd be happy to talk to you about that. So, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.